Welcome to Something Like That with Nav. Yeah, that's me. And thank you so much for tuning in. If it's your first time tuning in, I'd like to say a big hello to you. And if you have not subscribed to the page or maybe any of the podcasts, please do so. Please do so. And time seems to be flying pretty fast. Another couple of weeks to go, approximately about 10 weeks or so, we're going to say goodbye to 2021. And speaking of time flying, well, these guys on my show today, it's been, I just realized it's been more than a year since I actually had a chat with them. So I thought that, hey, might as well just have a chat because they have some good stuff, some new music out, some merchandises, and much, much more. So we're going to chat with them. Do excuse me for the video quality of this particular podcast. It's one of those days, lah. It's one of those days when everything seems to be falling apart, lah. Sorry about that, yeah? Desiree, or rather Danielle and Dervin, how are you guys?
Hey.
What's up, Nav?
I'm good, man. How are you guys? It's been a while,
Good.
isn't it?
Good.
Yep, good to see you again, man.
Good to see you. You know, I'm a bit confused. Was I calling you Danielle all this while, or was I calling you Desiree?
You were calling me Danielle, I think.
Danielle, okay. Just double checking because
Yeah, that's my
the
first name. Chris, the middle name.
okay. Because Desiree kind of reminds me of the singer. Remember her?
That's Desiree.
Desiree.
Desiree,
Almost. Sama tapi tak serupa lah.
Yeah.
You know, it's so funny looking at myself moving. The way I sound and the lag I'm having on my video. Oh man, it's annoying. So please bear with me, yeah. Please bear with me.
On our
That's
side,
why
you look fine.
You really good?
Yeah.
Okay, good. It's the only time that I look good, lah.
You always
Anyway, how's it been, man? It's been years since the last we spoke. The last time we
speaking about how you look, that whole Jonathan Davis thing, I think you're way, way better looking than him. Lah.
way fatter, lah.
Better looking. I didn't say better, I said better looking.
I was actually going for the fatter part. You know, Jonathan Davis look thing, I don't know why, for some particular reason, this was way, way back from radio days. Somebody just came to me, one of the bands, when they had the interview on radio, and said, hey, you look like Jonathan Davis. I said, come on, lah, please. The guy's so better looking. And then lately, when he turned to the chubby version, okay, then I saw the similarities, man. Not the skinny version, the chubby version of him. Okay, lah, got something there, lah. Just got to do the dreadlocks, and maybe then he'll look fine. Yeah,
I still think you're more handsome. But
yeah. Trust me, the show still goes on, man.
Let's
All right. The last time we spoke, we were talking about Wounds, right? That was the track that was released. And lately, you have just released your... can I call this an album? Full album?
Yes.
Yes, you can.
It is.
Nice. And you have about 6 tracks in it, which is Take Them Down, Ignorance, Retrograde, Wounds, Lightbearer, Beyond the Certain. It's an excellent album. It's a digital album for a change. And this track is not actually uploaded on Spotify, is it? No, right?
No,
Not yet, at least.
Good. Don't do it too fast, though. Don't do it too fast. Take your time with that part of it. And let's talk about this album because there's some changes compared to the last time when we spoke. The last time when we spoke, you had a missing drummer. This time, I think you have a missing bassist. Chloe decided to take a new journey, or rather, new path. And how's that coming along now? Is there any new members on?
For that.
Yeah.
I know, man. It's a mess.
For all the life decisions that we are making now, we blame COVID. Yeah.
Yeah, anything at all, COVID. Hey, why you put on weight? COVID. Why you lost weight? COVID. Why you everything? Why is your hair long?
And say it's COVID kilos, Gotta lose those COVID kilos.
I know, but for me, it didn't make much difference. Like, it was still the same. But back to you guys. I mean, seriously, what's been happening? It's like new lineup. Any changes taking place?
Yeah, for now, it's just the two of us.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in a way, like, okay, so 10-year journey, and we kind of gone back full circle because back when we first started, it was just the two of us going for open mics, me with acoustic guitar and stuff. And eventually we had a full band, and now it's back to just the both of us. And
Nice.
I guess since we are the primary songwriters, the show will go on.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, in terms of, I'm pretty sure that now the gates are open and performances are allowed on certain areas. So, you guys are going to go on duo for the performances, or are you just going to have people coming in for sessions?
We have sessionists for now. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
And it also depends on the show. Like we probably would also still do acoustic
yeah.
duos.
Okay.
We might bring in a friend or two to help out with some other instruments. In terms of full band, yeah, we are currently rehearsing with a couple of friends. But in terms of full band, I think not yet lah. We're still
We're
building
just
our
like taking it
chemistry,
slow, lah.
shaking off the
Yeah.
dust, buang
Well,
karat.
the good thing about 2021 is everybody gets a chance to reinvent themselves. Try something new, explore some new stuff and all. And of course, and speaking of you guys doing your sessions and all and rehearsing, I've followed you guys on social media and I've seen you guys been a bit busy doing some jam sessions or rehearsals and things like that. Anything special coming up?
Yeah.
In a way, we're just preparing for the next live show whenever it
Oh,
comes.
okay,
Because
okay.
as soon as as soon as Chloe left, then we got to talking and we're wondering, okay, like how do we continue? So I guess we would like I said, we would still do acoustic duos and we would still also do live bands when we are able to do with sessionists.
Yeah.
And so I guess we're just preparing.
We have
Nice.
potential shows in November.
Mm.
We have
Nice.
one online show, a virtual show, on the 14th of November. That's
That's Shakir's virtual space jam.
yeah.
Okay,
virtual.
okay, cool. He's
Yeah,
been
so we
pretty
have
busy
that.
with that, right?
Yeah.
Very active with the online virtual shows and all, which is kind of
Yeah,
nice.
it's amazing. It's bringing all these talented, local artists together.
Yeah, they're just hanging out on Sunday. Everyone just playing,
Yeah,
doing their thing.
it's just a very chill
And he's
session.
been doing it for more than a year now, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, we
A year
did one
plus.
last year, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I know you guys. I saw you guys doing another online was with AEW, and but the thing is, this things have changed so much. I mean, for this past a year plus, or close to 2 years, everybody's been busy doing online shows. But the feel, the changes that's taking place right now, it's like you're half here, half there. How is
Yeah.
it for you guys? It's like online. How you've been doing it online for almost 2 years, and now getting back into the live scene. Is it actually
That's why-
impacted in terms of your performances and or maybe your style?
That's why we're taking our time to one thing buang karat, and then to another thing is add some new stuff to our like full band live performance, even for acoustic shows. Yeah, so we would definitely want to do something new lah.
I mean, it feels for me. It feels a bit, how to say, daunting, like going
It
back
is.
out in the world.
People,
not going
I
back,
see
like,
people.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's like I got used to staying at home, and I got used to these online shows that we were doing. I was like, yeah, okay, lah, it's not the same, but at least it's something. Yeah, but I'm excited as well, lah, to
Yeah,
be able to.
I
Get
mean,
back
everybody's
home.
looking forward for it, man. But now the
Yeah.
question is, of course, when it comes to performances, the dollars and cents is like, what is it going to be like? Are people like taking advantage of the situation? And everybody's going to come up with this line that, dude, this opening up, man, the price is going to be like this, man. Let's do it for free, man, exposure. But is it going to stay that way? All this nonsense,
Be a
but has that?
transition, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, when you were approached to do your possible shows out there and all, in terms of talking to the market rate, has it changed drastically for bands?
You're not always paid
Oh,
for
okay.
shows. You're not always paid. As in, it's like when we go for open mics, most of the time, open mic shows are not paid.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
even if they are, it'll just be like a token,
yeah.
just to
Okay.
cover travel
Okay.
costs and stuff, right?
Because I was
And we might-
talking to Azmil a couple of weeks back, and we were talking about this also. Is like how the market is going to treat the bands after this, and the changes, especially now lately, the whole trend of busking has been kicking off a lot, and that is also another things like confusing a little bit with the bands. The full-fledged bands and busking and all. So I'm just curious to know the changes that's taking place. But the good news is, like what you spoke earlier, I see a lot of openings coming up. As a matter of fact, Halloween, there's some shows going on, November. And for you, Devin, on your other side of the band propositions, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
you had some sessions going on too, right?
last Saturday.
Yeah,
That was last Saturday. Yeah, we had our first live gig with an audience after very, very long, after almost a year. That was at Black Box, and that was fun.
It was Publica Restart.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. That's the event. They restarted pretty fast, isn't it? They've been going back to back. The moment they opened up, it's like almost every week there's a band performing over there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jam Track has been doing a good job at that. They've had, I think, 2 series so far, and hopefully there will be another series coming up probably next week.
Nice.
Hopefully, yeah.
Nice.
And that one I
I'm
think
looking.
is sponsored by Publica and UEM.
Okay.
So the acts actually got, like, they get paid. So
Oh, cool. Okay, I just can't wait to complete my shot so I can start going out and just check out all the bands that's performing. Now let's get into your music right now. Your new album. Quick question: does it really have a name? Because I saw the whole titles and new songs coming up. Skies are red. Does this album have a name?
Yes.
Did I miss it? Okay, I'm just messing it up. Oh, sorry. Days of Retrograde Pass, right? Yeah. Okay, just to double check because I paid attention to the name and the tracks, and I just forgot something in between, which is the album's name itself. Sorry, my bad. My bad. All right.
No worries.
Let's talk about this album compared to the last one. I know Light Barrow was a track which was released way before Wounds, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you had a music video for that. Wounds came out. So let's talk about the rest of the track. When was these tracks written? Were they the same time, or you just had it on the shelf, just pick it up, dust it off, and just put it in the album? Or which one is this?
These tracks were all written over a span of a few years. In the whole 10 years that we've been together. Yeah,
Wow.
like songs like Take Them Down and Beyond the Certain were written in the same year.
Yeah, they were the earliest songs.
Yeah, they were the earliest songs.
we
So
wrote.
this bunch of songs on this album is like are like the earliest songs that we've written. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Between 2010 to 2013, I think.
2013.
Yeah.
So
Then the next
was
bunch of songs we wrote after that would be on the next release. Sorry?
Oh, okay. So all the tracks that's featured in this album was already written many years ago.
Yes.
It's nothing to do from last year till now.
No, so when we started off as a live band, and because we wanted to focus on playing original music, we started writing songs pretty much as soon as we started. And yeah, so we just started writing, and we've got enough songs for another release, but we decided to release like the older songs first in our first album.
Okay.
And then the newer ones would be in our next record, just to be
Yeah.
chronological that way.
Oh, okay. That's a nice concept. But what took you so long? I mean, I asked you this question last year. I'm going to ask you this again. If this songs were written way before, why was it so long for you to release this? And why is it only this year? You could have done it last year and all right.
I mean, it's like because it was a whole journey, lah. It's
Yeah.
like
Okay.
when we wrote the songs, it didn't sound the way that it sounds.
I don't think
today.
we would have been able to. We would have been ready to be released back then.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
because when we write, instead of like, so some bands write and then they go into the studio, get it recorded, and then they go out on tour and relearn the songs that they recorded so they can play it live and then play it for tour for a year or 2 years or whatever. We play it live first,
Mhm.
let the song evolve, and that
Okay.
might take months, years, and then when we are finally happy with the way the song has evolved and the shape and form it has taken, and then we'll commit down to record. So that's what happened
Nice.
with these songs. Yeah.
Nice.
So
I like the concept of it then.
so we learned a lot. Basically, it was a whole learning process for us. Like, so as you mentioned, Light Barrow was released years ago. So that was technically our first single.
Yeah.
And when we recorded Light Barrow, we went into the studio without knowing what we needed to do, no pre-production. We just went in and just did our stuff. And then I think in the following year, we recorded Take Them Down, and then we released that as our second single.
Okay.
But right before Wounds was recorded, we decided to get our album recorded and produced by Ash of Nadia Studios.
Okay.
And that's when we decided to record 6 songs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
the
like
Yeah, it
Just
now
to
is.
give credit mentioned, it was also mixed and mastered by Ashwin of Nadir Studios. Cover art, I love the cover art. It is brilliant. I freaking love the cover art for this particular album. It is very unique, and that's done by Anna Hanna, is it?
So the album cover art is done by Shambhavi Shankar of
Okay.
the Underground Art Society.
Oh, okay. So there's a long list of people involved in that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
she is involved. She's responsible for the album cover, and she
Okay.
designed. So if you download the digital album, you will get a PDF booklet with lyrics and artwork.
Yeah.
So each song has its own artwork, and each artwork are done by different visual artists.
Cool. That's awesome. Because that's what I always love about. It's like is it? You want to say nostalgic can also lie. It's like when the days you go and buy records or you go and buy your CDs. The best thing of all is that the so-called inlays. You
Yes.
just flip through, you look through the lyrics, and each of them has a picture beside it. That's pretty nice. Now, as soon as I download this whole thing, I got to buy myself a printer in order for me to print it and keep it up.
We may eventually release physical copies,
Yeah.
but we'll see.
We'll see.
Nice. If you do, please do let me know in advance so I can buy a CD player. That seems to be my problem lately.
See, that's the thing. Like, not many people have CD players nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Laptops
Yeah.
don't come with CD players. Cars
Yeah,
don't
it
come with
is.
CD players anymore.
It's kind of a predicament right now. It's like because I always believe that you need to have a physical copy of the
Yeah.
music of your favorite bands and so on. You must have that
Yeah.
physical copy because you never know down the road, 5 years, 10 years from now, when you just I don't know for all you know, you're clearing your room, you just have that album in your hands, and then you just reminisce the whole thing, listen to those tracks all over again. It's kind of nice because you have that. But the problem is digital copy is once you download it, when and where are you going to play it? And the streaming platforms kind of ruin their experience itself. It's like everybody's on Spotify, and if you don't pay, you don't have the paid version, you don't get to listen to the whole album back to back. Those kind of things takes place. But this, I say, is a brilliant idea because you have everything taken up in terms of visual and also the audio digital format. All you need is a printer and a pen drive. That'd be good, lah.
Or you just download it into your phone
Yeah.
and just listen to it on your phone, and you can
Dude,
do the lyrics.
My phone is basically it's about to commit suicide. That's all I can say at the moment. So
What have you been doing to it, man?
I don't know, man. No, but you see, this phone, I think it's about what 5 years old. I have problems with phones. It's like I'm not the kind of guy who changes it every year. It's like I buy one until the thing collapses to the maximum, and then with all my data contacts disappearing, only then I'll buy a new phone. That's a bad habit that I have. I don't know, bad or good either way. So now I just
I'm
gotta
the
start
same,
hunting
man.
with it.
Until it dies, I'll use it until it
Yeah,
dies. Yeah.
I know. It's just this is my my entire life. I think this would be my fourth phone. So you just imagine how long I've been keeping phones around. But let's talk about the tracks right now, and let's get into one by one. Let's talk about "Take Them Down." What's that all about? I need to have the breakdown because I would love to know this backstory, or rather, what's behind that whole song.
Okay, so if you're gonna, before we go into song by song, so the entire 6 songs that we chose for this album,
Hmm.
each of them represent certain aspects of the human experience, and
Okay.
they are part of one's journey of like finding your path, finding
Your true self.
finding who you are in this
Yeah.
crazy world, right?
Yeah.
So these songs are representations of different elements of that journey.
Okay.
So Take Them Down is actually like a war cry to
Mhm.
take down the illusions in life. So as a kid growing up, you have parents, teachers, relatives, religious leaders, whoever, all painting a picture and telling you what you should do, what you shouldn't do, what you cannot do, and things like that. And it eventually becomes a very restrictive thing, depending on the kind of ideas you've been fed as a kid. But if you've been fed the wrong ideas, eventually you will form a false worldview,
Okay.
a false view of yourself. Like, for example, if you have all that potential, but you've been told, oh, don't get overexcited, stop doing that, don't do what you love, do this instead, for example.
Sounds like
Or
my father, man.
you think you're so smart, you think you're so beautiful, you think you're so intelligent, you're good for nothing. So all these things, a lot of kids, in our society, in our cultures, have gone through, right?
Okay.
And that has an effect on your self-esteem, your self-confidence, and even your ability to pursue your aspirations or to pursue your dreams. So Take Them Down is basically about recognizing that and just destroying that and just allowing yourself to
Shine through.
shine and realize your true potential.
Nice.
Long answer. Sorry. Each song is going to
No,
have a
it's
long
good. It's good. Like I said, I mean, based on our last conversation, like I said before, I've always liked tracks that had a story behind it. It isn't just about writing a song. It's like, okay, I put a song, put words in it, song, music behind it. But it's always nice to have a story behind that. And you have a whole theme for your album itself. And Ignorance, how about that?
Oh.
You take this one. Many years ago.
Wow. I don't know. how
Once
to
upon a
explain
time, long time ago, when dinosaurs walked the earth.
this. I don't know how to explain this.
Okay, so ignorance
I will
is-
add on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Toko tambah.
You do the
Toko
dirty work.
tambah. Yeah. Ignorance.
So ignorance is actually inspired by the story of the Orang Asli in
Okay.
this. And so many years ago, we went to visit our friend in this Orang Asli village, very near Kuala Kubu Baru.
Mhm.
And this Orang Asli village is basically a relocated residence for this Orang Aslis because the land that they've been living in, or they were living in for the past 500 years or so, was cleared for the Selangor Dam,
Okay.
right? So when this was happening, the story was construction workers came and cleared the trees, cleared the land and everything. And so the Asli are very, very connected to the land, right? They believe that when they respect the land takes care of them, and that's how they exist. But because of agents of modernization and progress, they don't really understand that kind of concept. So when they destroy the land, the Asli it impacts the Asli a lot, right?
Okay.
So anyway, long story short, there was a legend about this protector spirit of the forest called Naga. It's a water dragon spirit, and the Aslis pray to the Naga for help, to protect the forest. And so there was one day where there was a huge storm, and you know how sometimes rivers and waterfalls, when it rains, there'll be a huge gush of water suddenly
Yeah.
that will just come down and wipe everything in its path, right? So that happened, and that cleared the makeshift bridge, the
Destroyed the
construction
construction.
stuff and everything, right?
Okay.
And the Asli believed that it was
The Naga.
the Naga responding to their prayers. So when we heard this story, we were very, very inspired, and it touched us very deeply. And then we realized that it's not just the Orang Asli at KKB that were facing things like this. It's the Asli all over the country. And then we realized there are Aboriginal people all over the world that have been oppressed and their voices and rights been taken away. So ignorance is basically inspired by all of their stories.
Wow. This is
It's
getting
our reaction to them.
this is getting more and more interesting as this conversation goes, man. I'm only down to the second track, and I still got another 4 more tracks to go. Okay, this I don't know about listening to the song, but the story behind each song seems to be pretty fascinating. In fact, Retrograde, I believe we have spoken about this before, but for the benefit of those who just tuned into this particular podcast for the very first time, please share what's that all about.
Retrograde. So Retrograde. You want to know the story about Retrograde?
Yes.
Okay.
Why you wrote the song? What is it behind it? Why this song?
Okay, so the word retrograde, they always it's said that when when Mercury is in retrograde, it affects people, on Earth. It affects their emotions. It affects little decisions you make in life. the ongoings in the world, you know.
And usually things just go wrong.
Yeah, usually
It's a
things
time
look
where
bleak.
your plans don't work out.
Yeah, you're undecided. Even as a person, like in your singular journey as a human being, you feel, you know, there's a sense of loss, or there's a sense of undecidedness, not knowing where to go forth, how to go forth in your
Story
life.
of my life.
Yeah. So retrograde is about how life is a lesson that we have to endure, and you know, we should realize that this journey is never ending, and the retrograde will pass by. When you're feeling the
Ah,
retrograde, it is going to pass by. Yeah.
Retrograde also
nice.
means like okay, so let's say you're always in a state of moving forward, like you're learning, you're progressing, you're moving forward. But then every now and then we make choices, or we make decisions, or we do certain things that may cause us to go sort of
Backwards.
backward in our journey.
Yeah.
Okay.
That can be considered a retrograde.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's necessary sometimes to go backward in order to learn, and then we go forward.
You would say this virus has been a retrograde on all our lives.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Retrograde. I think retrograde is an understatement for this particular thing.
Like,
It's like completely, it just picked you up from one corner, put you somewhere out of nowhere. It's like you don't know where you're headed. Yeah, I know. It's like this rediscovering is one thing, but I just got to find myself. I mean, this is what the question that everybody has in their mind is like, this past 2 years. Oh man, retrograde. That's a nice way of listening to it. It's like, well, for those listening to this particular podcast, this is the reason why I'm having this particular chat, because based on my conversation with Skies Are Red the last time, it's like with this one song, the explanation, the storyline they had behind the song called Wounds caught my attention, which made me want to listen to more and more track, which of course they took the sweet time and just released it this year after the last one.
Sorry we had to make you wait.
Just kidding, just kidding. Well, it was worth the wait. It was worth the wait, man. It was worth the wait. And then from retrograde, wounds. Well, if you want to listen about wounds, you listen to the previous podcast. Light Barrier, we spoke about it. So we're going to fast forward it to Beyond the Certain. What is that all about?
Okay, so Beyond the Certain is the closer for the album, and it has it's the heaviest song on the album in our opinion, in terms of not just the sound but the energy, the message. Even the artwork is the most darkest.
It's like a
artwork in
song
the
of
album.
determination, a determination to see, through the illusions and through the lies.
Yeah, in essence,
Nice.
it's like an extension of the first song.
Yes.
Take Them Down. It's like an extension of that. But now, so you've taken down the illusions, you've gone through your pains and your retrogrades and everything. And then now you're ready to go beyond the certain. Like what you
Yeah.
thought you knew, you abandoned that, and now you relearn, and now you move and go. And you're ready
Nice.
to take down the veil of whatever illusions and whatever, to see the truth beyond. And it may be scary, it may scare the shit out of you, but hey, bring it, let's go.
Nice. I am so loving the backstory between each and every track, and it's definitely something that you got to put it on loop and listen to it back to back. And if you haven't gotten yourself the album, you have to check it out. I'm going to put the whole links in this particular page, and you can just download it. It's available on Bandcamp, skiesared.bandcamp.com. To make your life easier, I'll put the link. You just click on it, and the digital album is only about $7 USD or more. That's up to you how much you want to give it. And the good news is they have merchandises. Yes.
Yes.
And I know for sure there would not be any T-shirt for my size lah.
BPM to P later lah, bro. Sure can get it.
Yeah, my size is basically curtains lah. But anyway,
Oh God.
trust me, I tried. I gave up, man. I just gave up buying merchandise T-shirts.
It's just
It's
amazing.
Yeah.
Can we just pause for a moment? Now that I have you here, Nav, please consider doing stand-up fucking comedy.
Yes.
Can you
Me?
please? Yes,
Nah,
you've got
man.
gold material, man. Every day you're dropping gold nuggets, and like I'm like, damn, stand up.
No, man. We stand up and just leave it to the professionals. But I just enjoy. I'm just kind of guy who just likes to blabber on social media just for the fun of it, lah. Just like you just sit down there, scroll, like something comes up, and then you just put it in words and call it a day, lah. And of course,
That's
it
what
kind of
stand-up
offends some
comedians
people
do.
too.
I mean, that's exactly what stand-up comedians do. They don't give a shit if they're offending anyone.
Yeah. Oh, but you'll be surprised. Some people who don't understand the definition of jokes.
Yeah.
It's like you try to put it, try to analyze that, try to look for the logic behind the whole line. I was like, dude, it's just a Facebook post. Read it,
Yeah.
scroll, and move on with your lives. That's
Yeah,
about it.
exactly.
That happens a lot, man. Lately, I don't know what for some particular reason that's been going on, man.
A lot of butthurt people.
Yep.
But I would look forward for one day to try some open mic thingy. Who you never know, like just try and see.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, just do
Just for the
5 minutes, man. Just try 5 minutes.
5
Just
minutes.
drop
man.
two
I'll
or three
freak out,
gold
man.
nuggets and then ciao.
I'll
My-
freak out, man. Trust me, I'll just freeze. I'll just freeze like an ice cube. That's all I can say. I don't know. I don't have the guts for that. You ask me to talk in front of a million people, I can. But you ask me to joke in front of them, I do not know whether I can do that or not. I don't know. I'll
Don't
just try
you
and
do
see.
MCing? Don't you drop jokes like if the crowd permits, if the event?
Oh yeah, I do do
You
that.
do, right?
That I do. But as a stand-up, nah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't define which is to stand-up, but which is jokes and which is the thing. So I just go with the flow whenever I can.
I mean, sure,
Not
it's
that
not
try to
easy,
sound-
but you have the material, man. That's all I'm saying. Like you have the material.
Oh, but that's the problem. I got a memory of a goldfish. It's like I can say something today. 5 minutes later, it's like, okay, what did I say? Yeah, that's the kind of thing. I have that problem. It's like, okay, then my wife complains a lot. It's like, hey, you said you want to do this. Like, oh yeah, what did I say I want to do? It's like it just goes with the flow. One of these days, I'm going to be so forgetful. I might just end up forgetting my wife in the shopping mall or somewhere.
Yo.
That's for sure. I mean, that'll be the happiest day of her life anyway. But just kidding, just kidding. Anyway, let's get back to the merchandises here. Let's talk about merchandises right now. T-shirts, that's what's available right now, right?
Yes, we have T-shirts available. It's also on Bandcamp, so you can purchase it directly from our Bandcamp page.
Cool. And how many designs do you have on that? 1, 2?
Just one. It's the album cover art on
Okay.
T-shirts. Yeah.
Nice. Because I thought looking at your social medias, like both of you wearing the T-shirt and going up the escalator, I thought it was going to be that, the couple T-shirt thingy, his and hers, that seems to be a trend lately.
No.
Just normal t-shirts for now.
Yeah.
Okay,
Standard
you guys
t-shirt.
look good. You guys look good with those T-shirts on. It is nice.
Thank you.
I might get a sort of one of those. I mean, since I can't wear it, at least I can just display it, right?
Can.
I'm sure we have a size for you.
Yeah.
Definitely
Trust
do.
me. Trust me, my dear. Everybody's been trying that for many, many years. Even my mother gave up on me. So don't trust me. It's like I'm the only guy that nobody can ever buy me clothes. Everybody tried and failed miserably. But I think people enjoy doing that. Because every time you buy something for me, they can't fit. It's like, okay, I'll take it back and then use it for themselves. That's,
What?
I think that's the case. I get a lot of that lately. It's like, no, you cannot. Too bad. It's okay, I'll take it back. Now they just
Maybe
buy for the sake of it.
challenge.
Challenge me? Nah.
Yeah, if they can buy you something that fits, then wow, then they are good shoppers,
Trust me, the amount of cheapskates I have around me, I doubt I'll get any of that.
Yeah.
I seriously, I doubt, man. Because my size, the only problem is, it's like when you get my size is either you get the shoulders, you won't have the length. You get the length, you won't have the chest. And then if you
Right.
have everything perfectly, you have a ridiculous price tag, not even worth that shit.
Sounds like the problem I have with my hips.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Please
sounds
do
like
not.
the problem.
Please do not compare you and me. Trust me. There's.
I'm talking about cutting. Talking about
cutting.
cutting. Yeah. Sometimes it's too big here. It's small. It's okay here, but it's fitting at the hips, and it's
try
always
being-
the hips.
Try being somebody who's 6'2" and weighs about 120 kg. That's the biggest nightmare you can have. Because if you want to have something right for your waist, you end up having 3/4 pants. And if you want to go for the length, you'll end up having, I don't know, man. I need a rope to tie myself instead of a belt. Even
You need
belt
a
is a
personal-
nightmare.
You need a personal
I don't know.
stylist.
It's just that it's like God created human beings like this size S, M, L, XL, and so on. Mine, I think it got kind of confused, you know. The vertical and
Extreme.
horizontal part is like, you know, yeah, it's a mix of everything. Certain body parts small, some big, some long. It's like, it's a mess, man. I tell you, seriously. But
For
enough about
sure.
me. The whole podcast is not about me. It's about you guys, actually. it's, it's about you. I'm just not here to talk about my waistline. It's not something that people. I don't want to scare children. That's all I can say. But
Children.
anyway,
Children watch the show?
I don't know, man. Because the thing is, I rate my show as like clean, no explicit stuff. So some kids might just accidentally listen to it and then they listen to the word "fuck." Oh, mom, what is that?
Yeah,
It's
man.
like, you know, yeah, I don't know, man. Come on, man.
Well,
Kids these days.
Not your
Yeah,
problem.
yeah, not my problem. That's your
Yeah,
parents'
not your
problem, not
problem.
mine. That's like, you know, they said, oh, please do not use profanity in front of children. Have you met the kids these days?
Why are children watching this kind of show?
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, man. When I see my stats, hey, got kids watching. It's like, okay, good for you, man.
Good. Educational.
Training them at the early age.
Yeah, exposure, educational.
You
Should
see,
watch.
this is you guys are pretty tricky. Every time I try to go back to you, I kind of coming back to me, you know.
That's why it's called something like that, man.
I know. I used to do this a lot with other shows, you know, whenever I'm a guest, and this time I got it back. You guys are the first ones who ever did this to me, which is
So
good.
we're just chatting with you,
I-
man. It's been damn long. So
Yeah.
this is great.
It is, it
Sorry
is.
for
I always,
distracting you.
no, actually, it is. You guys are the first one who ever pulled that off.
We didn't plan
No
it,
one ever
man.
did that. Yeah, I know. This is the very first time. I'm just like sitting down. It's like, hey, wait a minute. Am I supposed to be chatting with them, or they are asking me the other way
I'm
around?
sorry.
Yeah, well, no, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. It's good. I kind of like it anyway. So let's get back to what's upcoming. What's next for you guys? After this, the album's out. Okay, I know you're like I said earlier. Of you might be some possible shows coming up in November and so on, live shows. But any chances of music videos, lyric videos, or any of those sorts for this particular album? Are there
Yeah.
anything in works?
We
That's the plan.
are planning to do a music video for one of the songs.
Okay.
And
Which
we're
one?
also planning to. You'll know lah.
Yeah.
You'll know when the
Aiyo.
video comes out. Lah.
Ayo.
Yeah.
Supplies.
Because even-
Supplies.
We're planning to collaborate with a couple of people for that, and
Oh, okay, cool.
yeah, so we're hoping to drop it probably first quarter of next year. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. If COVID-
And the next minute, you're going to say, it's like, hey, it's 2023, and we just have the brand new single. I don't know.
No, like it
No,
wouldn't
no.
be that because we are planning to keep with our plans, and
Yeah.
we are also planning to record our second album next year.
Hmm.
Yeah, if everything goes well.
But I'm just curious on one thing. Is like your second album, you're going to record it. Is like the tracks that you said, like this one is a build up from many years into this one particular track, right? So it's all about the situation that happened way back then. You know, for a couple of years back, and then you put it on to this year. But your next album, how about that? It's like, are you talking about the current situations, or do you have a take on things totally different? Is it going to be like a generics timeline for it, or how is that going to be for the new album?
What are
Is
you
it gonna be
referring
based
to?
on-
Like
Our new
the
album.
context of the songs, like the
Yeah, the
message?
new album, the upcoming album. It's like this one, okay, a couple of years ago, had a gap in between, and then you come up with this particular album itself. So now, keeping up with the times, like being up to date, is the new one is going to be based on the current year, so maybe this year and last year and so on, or is it like
Right.
going to be another?
So songs in this album that we just dropped
Mhm.
were written between 2010 to 2013, 14, around there. The songs that we will be releasing next would have been written after that until about 2-3 years ago.
2019.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's like a
So-
compilation of that, and then after, so I'm guessing the third album will be something that's happening this year and till the next 2 years.
The third album, I'm already in the midst of like putting some ideas together because
Nice.
we want to do something really different for the third album.
Yeah.
I don't want to say too much in case
Yeah.
things go sideways, but the plan or the hope is we want to do more collaborations. And since
Nice.
it's the two of us, that just makes even more sense to collaborate with other musician friends in the scene. In fact, we've already done one. We've co-wrote one song with my bandmate from the Propositions, Mr. Ian Tai.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so We're looking forward to getting that song recorded as well. And there's also another plan to do like a follow up to this first album, which is like 3 to 4 songs, acoustic versions of these songs.
Yeah.
Because we've been performing these songs acoustically as well, and our acoustic arrangement is a little bit different than
Okay.
the electric one. So for that one, we'll probably be getting a couple of friends to do some accompaniments with us.
Nice.
That'll happen probably in the next few months or so. We'll see how things go.
Cool.
Yeah.
But in terms of the sound of it, is like, are you going to have the same feel that you had for this particular album, or are you just going to like try something different out completely for the next
songs are
album
different.
itself?
The songs
No,
are
I mean
different.
the sound of the whole thing. Because now that at present moment is the duo, is the both of you, right? So I'm guessing that will influence a lot in the upcoming music itself, the new album. So how's the sound going to be like? Is it a bit more mellow? Is it going to be a bit more heavier? What are
Yeah,
we
so-
what can we anticipate in that?
Probably going to be heavier because
Definitely.
the newer
Yeah.
songs that we wrote, that we've written so far, they are
Mhm.
a lot heavier musically. And yeah,
Even in terms of content, like in terms of the
Yep.
subject matter itself,
Yep.
it's heavier, it's darker. So the next album, we've got like one song about, it's called Deception.
Okay.
It's about how we lie, how we weave this web of lies, you know. And then there's a song called Five to Life, which is about
Okay.
being imprisoned or being arrested or imprisoned wrongfully, like, for something that you're not responsible for.
Okay.
Things like that. So different themes. Musically, the style's a little bit different as well. So
Nice.
yeah, because these songs that we just released were written back then, they were written in a way that I knew how to write songs. But
Okay,
since then,
cool.
I learned other ways to write songs and hopefully better. And yeah, so
yeah.
All right, from the sounds of the music itself, in terms of marketing and promotion of how you plan to sell the songs, have you guys ever considered getting into the so-called digital world, like for example, like blockchains and I know the crypto world? It seems to be a growing trend these days. It's like everybody's going on the crypto, like for example, something with Vandals, like crypto voxels. You know, Jude from Kill and the Vandals have collaborated on a new project right now. So, have you guys ever considered of getting into those kind of platforms? Because I mean, let's face it, the current trend of profiting out of the music with Spotify and YouTube, it seems to be kind of a challenge right now because you got to have a huge amount of viewers or rather downloads and things like that in order for you to see a little profit, a monetary wise of that in terms of the tracks. But getting into this crypto world, have you ever considered it, or is that something not really something that you will consider?
I've definitely been interested. We've been talking about it. And yeah, like the stuff that Jude from Kill Jude and Vandal have been doing. So I've been reading about it in this last few months. But from what I gather, it's a little technical from what I know. I don't know much, but getting into it is a little technical, and you really need to know what you're doing before getting into it, because and I could be completely wrong, but I think it's not that cheap. It takes a bit of money to get into and stuff like that. Also, I know that quite a number of my graphic designer friends are getting into it, like they're selling their artwork.
NFTs and so on.
Yeah, so NFTs can also be film, can be music, and it can be anything pretty much. But yes, I think that is the future. I think it will explode into something really, really big. It already is in other countries, but in Malaysia, it's still not that big yet in terms of music on blockchain. But it will. I think it will be. And I think the technology will just improve and only get better.
Yeah.
And hopefully it will get more accessible, so more and more people it'll be easier for more people to get into it.
I think it's. I mean, personally, so for someone who's been watching, monitoring this whole industry for quite a while now, I think it's something that I would encourage a lot of bands to start doing it because nothing against promoting it locally down here, but if you look at some of the things that's been happening with a lot of bands from local bands, especially indie bands, the recognition they seem to be getting outside of Malaysia seems to be quite high. Even the recent case of the girl who couldn't get be sponsored to perform in Texas or something like that. You see, the thing is, these platforms seems to be appreciating the local art that we have over here.
Right.
We would encourage more people. I mean, it might be in the early stages, but you never know. Just randomly, just sending out.
Yeah, in my opinion, any platform that enables you as a creative person to put your work and for it to be accessed by not just people in your country or in your region, but across the globe, I think that is the future. So in terms of like you said, Spotify and YouTube. So the reason we haven't put our album on Spotify or YouTube yet is because of Bandcamp. So Bandcamp
Yeah.
already has an international community. There's artists
Okay.
from all over the world with music on Bandcamp. And these artists have following. And it's just like Spotify, it's just like Facebook, where there's a community, there's a social community going on. People are sharing music across the Bandcamp community. And it's just a pity that I didn't know about it earlier. And when we were talking about releasing this album, I'm going to be honest and say that I wasn't really a fan of dropping it on Spotify or YouTube first. And it's because of that very reason that you mentioned just now.
Okay.
Spotify is great for the music consumer. You just get the app. If you want, you pay for the full version, and then you get an unlimited access to any song, any album, any artist, anywhere in the world. So that's great. I think it's less than 15 ringgit, right?
Yeah.
About 14 plus lah.
14 plus, yeah. For the artist, if you are Ariana Grande or Bruno Mars or Lil Nas X or whoever else, then it's great because you're going to get millions of people listening to your music. But if you're just starting out, if you don't have any guarantee that you're going to reach even 1,000 plays, 1,000 streams, but you're hoping to get some form of monetary returns, then Spotify isn't the platform.
Yeah.
However,
it's just good for publicity.
It's good for exposure. It's good for exposure
Yeah.
because your music can be accessed by people all over the world.
Yeah.
So I think it's best you just put in your single and then redirect them to another place like Bandcamp, for that matter.
Yeah. So before we dropped this album, I asked a few of my friends, like in other bands, like Ian from Propositions just put up one of our EPs on Bandcamp recently. My friends' bands like Listening Red Chair, Berdosa, The Mash, they all have music. Penunggu, they all have music on Bandcamp, and they've had good experience with Bandcamp so far. And even international guitarists, like for example, I was really into Corey Wong's last few months, and Corey Wong he's a really phenomenal musician, producer, songwriter, and he's really big. Like if he drops something on Spotify, he's gonna get a lot of streams, but he doesn't promote his Spotify. He puts his stuff on Bandcamp, and if you watch his videos, you probably see his Bandcamp links. But his music is also on Spotify. And he'll say, yeah, for everyone who wants it for free, it's on Spotify.
Okay.
So that really got me inspired. Like, yeah, why not? Why not do it on Spotify, on Bandcamp? And now this is a shout out to everyone who's downloaded our album. Like, it meant so much to us because it's the first time that we're putting our album out into the world, and people are supporting us financially. They're just paying you directly for your album.
Yeah.
Now, if we were to drop that on Spotify, I don't think we will see that kind of returns, like, ever.
Yeah, that's also it's very much true because a lot of them whom I've spoken through since the existence of Spotify and all. It's nice. It's just for the namesake. It's like, hey, my music is on Spotify. You can check out on Spotify. Even this particular podcast is like, hey, it's on Spotify. But then again, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing at all in terms of what you said, unless you have a huge following.
Yeah. Financially, not really. But having your podcast like this on Spotify, someone in Brazil can just tune in to you and check you out. like if they've been checking out similar podcasts or similar shows, and then
Yeah.
your podcast is going to be suggested to them in a playlist or on their suggested feed and things like that.
Yeah. Well,
That's
podcast I
awesome.
think is different because, like for me, I'm not doing it for the money. It's absolutely it's nothing to do with the monetary. I'm not really marketing the show in terms of profit or whatever. But I'm more concerned of musicians, and it is a business. You got to treat music as business at the very same time. Passion is one thing, but you got to treat anything, from the songs, the albums, your shows. You got to look at it as a business. If you don't do that, it's like on the long run, your passion will slowly just die off because you don't have the motivation to push further. So that's why I encourage more people to find solutions. Like now you talked to me about Bandcamp, so I have an idea what the whole Bandcamp is all about. Then the crypto world, that's another thing that everybody should look into. I think there's another thing that a lot of local artists have to pay attention to in terms of the business aspect of the music, in terms of marketing and promotion, the quality, where do you place your stuff and how do you sell your music? Because a lot of cases we've been focusing a lot on performance, gigs, those kind of things, but we have kind of failed to look at all the marketing and promotion aspect of it and the technical side of it. There's a lot that's been happening a lot. So I just hope that changes anytime soon, because one of the articles that one of the posts that I had shared was, is the wrong people handling the organizations who don't understand the concept of what's happening right now. So you get that sorted out, I think it should be a good thing, man. I'm looking forward for that. Anyway, I can't believe it's been an hour. Anyway, let's go back and do a recap right now. skiesarred.bandcamp.com. That's where you can get all the tracks. You can download the digital album that comes with inlays, or rather designs. What's the word for it? Album art. Yeah, album art. You get the lyrics in there. You get the whole works. It's an awesome thing. And also you have the apparels, which is not in my size. So if you see my size, I would suggest you to buy 2 t-shirts, cut it up, and then stitch it together. Okay, that might help.
Don't worry.
I said earlier, dude, my customer cannot, dude. You go to Shopee, you just click on curtains and bedsheets, and then you slap your sticker on it with Skies in Red, then maybe
Maybe we should print Skies in Red curtains then.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to suggest to all bands out there, for people like me, try to create shawls. All the shawls.
That's not a
so
bad
at least
idea.
just wrap around, or maybe caps. Yeah, I'm a fan of caps, so look into it. But don't do it just because of me. Just think about all the fat people out there. That's all.
I've been thinking about doing caps, hoodies and stuff,
I
but
thought you were going to say I've been thinking about fat people.
why? I mean, yeah, sure. I think about fat people.
Yeah.
Not fat
We're
people.
the ones that people get scared to talk about, man.
Why not?
Yeah. But anyway, seriously, look into that. Caps and hoodies, merchandises. That's another nice thing to have, because, like I said, I'm a fan. When I'm a fan of bands, I always like to have their merchandises. It is nice to reminisce. Years go by, and just reminisce, look back at the things that you have, something physical, a collection of it. That'll be awesome, man. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me on the chat. It's nice chatting with you guys after a long time. Finally, we get to chat again. I think it's been a year plus, 1 year, 2 months. Last was AEW session, right? That was somewhere around September last year.
Yeah.
September last year.
Yeah,
Well, AEW session might be coming back again in November, so look forward for that.
Nice.
Another round, one more round to go. So, like I said earlier, check out it's available on Bandcamp. Don't forget to follow them on their social media pages. Skies Are Red. That's right. Just type out Skies Are Red. You can find them on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You guys on Twitter?
Yes.
Okay, you guys on Twitter too. So all those details will be posted on the webpage. You can check that out. And remember, make sure you get the album. And if you're buying the album, keep it to yourself. Don't share it with everybody else. Share the link, okay, on where you can buy the album. Okay, don't just make copies out of it and pass. Hey, check out this song. I'm supporting this place. Oh, no, don't make copies. That's piracy. Okay. All right. Ceta rompa. It's like one fleur buy and then share it with 50 fleurs out there. It doesn't work that way. Yeah, this is like the clubs, 1 fleur buy, 1 bottle, 20 fleurs you share. And then they say, I support the club right now.
Yeah, and then less than 20 minutes the bottle finish already.
Yeah, and they say, hey, I bought a bottle, Yeah, I bought a bottle, It's like, brag about it. Yeah, cheap price.
20 mouths to feed.
Yeah, exactly. So don't do that. Buy the whole album. It's only going to cost you about, $7 USD. What's the currency right now? Exchange rate?
It's about the price of 2 Starbucks coffees.
Yeah.
So it's probably less than 30
Really?
ringgit.
Ah,
30
see,
ringgit.
there you go. Think about it. Stop Starbucks, get yourself a can of Nescafe, you can buy 4 albums. All right, anyway, so there you have it. Thank you so much, guys. It was great chatting with you guys. I wish you all the best. I'm looking forward for your live performances. Anything coming up anytime soon this week, next week, month after that?
So Shaki's Virtual Space Jam is on the 14th of November.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, that's
cool.
nice for now.
All right, that's the first one for first round warm up.
For now,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So I'll look forward for more of it. Thank you so much.
Definitely.
Thanks,
Yeah, I'll
Nav.
definitely be there. Thank you so much. All right, you guys
Thanks,
take care.
You too.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.